Welcome to the Lock Shop with Nielson and Hustler.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Lock Shop. It's a pleasure to be here. Very excited to be here. Spoiler alert, it's my only Lock Shop of the week. And then I only have two next week. But then CFL is done. And I'm here for good. Thinking of sticking around Edmonton Sports Talk in the future. Now it's pretty exciting times. So, yeah. But I am excited to catch up with Huss today. That should be good. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. What do we, the grandest strikes again. Well done, good sirs. Well done. I did not know that, or I would have actually mentioned it on the, did I send that one over yesterday? What was yesterday? Was it? Oh, I was off yesterday. That's why I was driving yesterday. So, all right. So that's why I didn't know about it. Congratulations, you guys. What was the number on it? Tell me the number. I need to know the number. What was it? You guys are usually at least above 10-1, right? I'm more of a, what do I call myself? Safety Steve. That doesn't work. But like cautious Chris. Well, that's not too cautious. I had some pretty big bets over the weekend. Anyway, let me know what the number was, guys. Congratulations. Excellent work. Well, if you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. I'll also be by in just a second. Obviously, the Edmonton Oilers back in action tonight. We've got one EST special up. November codes have been reloaded, so if you want to get on those, EST50 and EST Sports, deposit 50, get a $50 free bet, and hey, dabble in the casino a little bit if you want. Just make sure you use your game sense when you do. It's all about the game senses. That's what you want to see. Our EST special for tonight, plus 178. Oilers to win, old Nugie boy with a point at plus 178. So we're looking like plus 550 yesterday. Is that what we were at for the grandest? Very nice. Hey man, you hit two of those a week. You're laughing. Ha 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 ha. All right, you just be laughing all the way to the bank, bro. Our Lock Shop CFL partner parlay from yesterday is up as well. Montreal Alouettes to win by 3+ points. Riders to win by 4+ points. That's at plus 245. I just don't know if anybody else heard that. I heard us in the background in the green room going, "Oh, Dusty's here." Yes, he is. Let's bring in Huss today. Huss, I miss you, man. The first thing on my Lock Shop notes today was a little Huss and Dust catch-up from the weekend. How you doing, my man?
You know, I feel better today. I'm still not over it, though.
Tough weekend for you, eh? That's outside of the Jets.
I mean, listen, everything I was sort of expecting, like the Bombers is no shock to me. I'll be honest. I mean, I guess if there was ever a weekend for the Chiefs to lose to the Bills, this was the one, because it was about a 2 on the misery index compared to what we dealt with for Friday and Saturday. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think it was that, and people know, I mean, I've always followed the Jays and sort of, pulled for them. But this season, very early on, partly from some of the futures that we made on them, but just kind of recognize, like, I must have watched at least half of their games this year. And you just sort of fall in love with that team. And then what they did through the playoffs was just so amazing. Being able to get to a game, being like, I've never felt, and honestly, like even more so than the Olympic hockey, I felt like this entire country was kind of pulling on the same rope. And then, I mean, then for it to go the way that it did, I mean,
unbelievable. Like
that is and as I say, it would be easier to get over if they just got pumped 10-1
exactly
or something.
right. They
like
had
that.
the World Series on a platter multiple times. Right. It just
And I haven't even been able to. Every time I see content breaking down, IKF's lead or the Paez catch,
you're too hurt to even look at it.
I cannot watch it. It will probably be years before I go back and can actually watch that final game again. But I will say this, I'm feeling a bit better. And that just happens. I mean, just tee me up for the next heartbreak that's just around the corner, I'm sure. But it was an amazing, amazing season, an incredible run. And I do wonder, like often teams that, go all the way and lose the championship and this ring chasing culture we have, we don't really recognize how great of a season and great of a run that they had. Like, I think the Oilers sort of bear the brunt of that. I mean, like, you got McDavid, you're expected to win. And if you don't, you fail. I mean, still better than 30 of the 31 other teams.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just, I guess, the way a lot of hot takes and narratives are shaped. But I do really wonder how we'll look back, like in a few years, at this Jays team. Because, I mean, this wasn't a team with the two best players in the world that went to the final and lost a hard-fought Game 7. This was a team that everyone thought was going to be 78 and 84.
Yeah, we forget where they started this year, right? Like, and even how they started.
And listen, I do get it, but I really do think that, the more removed I get from Saturday night, and I've been thinking about it a lot, just, like it'll be fascinating to see how they come back, if they can get Bo back. I mean, what happens with the pitchers? I think the response to this team has to put Rogers in a situation where they will be aggressive and they will spend money because they know how much money they can make when the team is really good and what is possible. But I think we're going to look back at this team a little differently than a lot of other teams that came so close. I mean, are they World Series champions? No, but this was the most special baseball run we've seen in over 30 years in this country. With the social media and with the television. And listen, I sometimes don't have a lot of nice things to say about Rogers. Their coverage of the baseball this postseason was absolutely amazing. I do wonder whether there will be, we'll look at them maybe different than some other teams that fall short just because of how much they did accomplish. And I'm hoping what this season does to the Blue Jays in this next window of another 5 or 10 years. I can tell you one thing. More young people are into baseball now than ever before. I mean, I'm sure you've seen the viewership numbers.
Huge numbers. Absolutely huge numbers.
Unprecedented. I think it's the highest, outside of the 2010 Olympics, the most watched sporting event.
As it should be, man. It was Game 7 of a World Series against the team that's, quote, ruining baseball, with a underdog team from Canada that was easy to rally around because there seemed like a bunch of good dudes. Like there's a reason that 18 million at some point during that game checked it out. I watched.
Everyone in the States was cheering for the Jays outside of California.
Yeah, and even the number in the States was actually pretty good for what they've seen recently. So
Dude, it was 50% higher than Game 7 of the NBA Finals.
Yeah, of the NBA final. 50%. And now that was it's OKC Indy. I see why there might have not been too much of a buzz there, but that's a massive
NBA Finals.
Exactly. It's a massive jump. Like, yeah, no, it was it was an incredible run. It was an all-time run. You've like guys who've been fans of the team for a long time have fallen in love with new players. People who were just borderline fans have probably fallen in love to the team where they're like, hey, next year, we should get out to a Jays game or two. Like, there'll be so many people around the country who are like, yeah, I want to go watch.
New fans.
That's the thing, right? Like, you're going to see that bump. So hopefully Rogers, and look, man, it's not like they're a middle market team. I mean, they're already top 5, 6 in payroll. But hopefully they continue to push that and keep some of these names around, or go out and bring in some more guys that can help you try to maybe finish the job. But I watched it. I I called that game in Montreal, rushed straight to the airport, got on the plane. The game started about an hour into my flight. Luckily, the Air Canada flight had Sportsnet. So I watched the entire game on the flight, and I could see more channels popping up across the plane as we got further into the game. I was just like, oh, now that guy's watching the game. Now that guy's watching the game. Something good would happen. You'd hear a bit of a cheer. Something bad would happen. You hear a bit of a groan. I said on my show yesterday, the only time, it was actually a very good feed. The only time it froze on me was when Bichette was coming up to bat, and it came back like 2 minutes later and they were up 3-0. And I was like, come on. I missed the home run. That's what it was. So I got Wi-Fi on my phone so I could go back and see what happened. I couldn't believe that was it. So then we landed. It was in the ninth inning. I was standing up waiting to get off the plane, and they had the bases juiced, and all the TVs had already been shut off. So I'm watching on my phone, and like 5-6 people behind me are watching over my shoulder on the phone.
What's happening?
And then we walk off the plane right when IKF is coming home. And we're watching it like in the Edmonton airport. And sure enough, he slides and we're like, what happened? Everybody, we were all losing our minds. Then I get in my truck and I know you're not supposed to do this, but I put the game up right by my speedometer, and I drove home in the Henday as fast as I could, because I was like, I might be able to get home to watch the end of this game with my family. So I get home, run upstairs. Elizabeth had gone to bed. Marshall and Tam are watching the game. I got home bottom of the 11th. I sit down. I'm like, all right. I looked at Marshall and I was like, it's meant to be. Daddy was meant to be home to celebrate a World Series championship with you. Vladdy gets his hit. Marshall's like, you were right, Daddy. I said, I know. This is going to be incredible. And then yada, yada, yada. He's in bed 2 minutes later. And I'm just like, I cannot believe that so many, like we were at the bar at the Westin Hotel in Montreal watching the game Friday night. And when it got to the point when they had runners on second and third, like everybody in the whole place was standing up. Like nobody was sitting down anymore. We're standing up, walking around. We're like, they're going to win the World Series. It's going to happen right now. And then all of a sudden, boom, double play. And I was distraught. I was like, how does that happen? How does this game end this quickly? Like at that moment, it's just, and it moment after moment after moment after moment. It's something that would be in a movie, Huss, right? Like it's something that would be in a movie. In the movie, the Jays win the World Series, but they had so many of those moments all along the way. It's just, what a ride, man. What a fun ride.
I don't think I've ever been crushed for a team the way that I felt on Saturday. And, you know, I'm sure you guys did it. We did it yesterday on the program. Like it was kind of like, even with the Bombers being eliminated from the playoffs, the first 25 minutes was just talking about the World Series.
Oh yeah.
And just the aftermath. And I mean, I've seen anyone that I've talked to over the course of the past 48 hours, it's been just, I can't believe that happened. I can't believe how close everyone got. And I mean, I had a bunch of friends that were in the building. I had Josh Goldberg on the program yesterday talking about it, and he was still in somewhat of a catatonic state. You know, my pal Jeff Feinberg.
Yeah.
Feinberg ended up as a meme.
I saw him.
Just, you know, and man, how about those seats he's got though? My
I know.
God. But yeah, he got memed to death, and it's on to the next year. But it was such a great run. I'm glad that it happened. I don't wish that they lost in the first round to the Yankees or anything like that. I think as bitter of a pill as it is right now, I really think the benefits of this for the Blue Jays, for baseball, for sports fandom in Canada, I think is going to be significant. And as I said before, and I know we're starting from scratch. I can't help but think of the similarities of the 2014 Kansas City Royals and the 2025 Toronto Blue Jays, in that they were a team that was expected to maybe be 500. They went on this incredible run through the season. Now, the Royals didn't win the division. They had to come back from 4 down in the wild card game when it was 1 game to beat Oakland and then go on their run. But they went all the way to the World Series, and they met up against Madison Bumgarner. And Bumgarner won game 1. Bumgarner won game 5. And the series went back to KC. I was at game 6 and 7. Kansas City put up like 10 runs in the second inning in game 6. So, I mean, everyone knew it was going to game 7. And it was a 3-2 game. And Bumgarner came out of the bullpen for the top of the 5th inning and pitched 5 shutout innings to lock it down.
Did he go shutout ball the rest of the way in that one?
For 5 innings on 2 days rest.
What a freak.
And that is the only thing that's even comparable to what Yamamoto did in that series. Winning game 2, 6, and 7 on the road. Yeah. And winning game 7 with 0 days rest after winning game 6. I mean, it's arguably the greatest pitching performance, certainly in modern day World Series history. But I bring that up because I'll never forget walking out of the building after that. And to be honest, I still felt worse about the Jays on Saturday than I did about the Royals, who hadn't basically been even in the playoffs for 30 years. And that team came back the next year and won the World Series over the Mets. So let's just hope that maybe history can repeat itself and we'll have another great run next year. But I will say this, I am going to be more dialed into the baseball offseason, I think, than I've ever been before this year. The hot stove, what is happening around the club. Like I can tell you on our show, we'll have Jay's guests throughout the offseason talking about it before. It's like, wake us up in March.
Yeah.
Like,
It's changed. It's changed the conversation. I was thinking about that last night because I saw Keegan Matheson say a heck of a run and everything. And I was just like, I'm going to talk to Keegan Matheson during free agency. That's going to happen. Like we're going to discuss this. Right. So,
what's your take on Bo? You think he's back?
I don't know. That's my take. My take is I don't know. Like I don't have a strong lean that he's staying. So my take is actually I don't know. I'm not sure, man. I think it's sort of up there. I think it's hanging up in the air right now.
It's Goldberg said he'd say it's maybe slightly above 50-50
that he would stay.
But yes, I mean, it's right there. You want to call it 50, like it could go either way. There's no clear defined favorite, I think, in this right now. And I mean, if you lose him, how do you replace that bat? And the other thing about it is why I think it's maybe even a little more important than normal is that he and Vladdy grew up together in this organization. And Vlad got his money, and Vlad was this playoff hero, and Bo almost. I mean, through no fault of his own, if things happen, that home run becomes, even though it's a third inning one, becomes right up there with Springer Dinger and with the bat flip and with Joe Carter. And it won't be remembered that way, but I really do think that they need to figure out a way to keep him around, give him like the $200 million for 7 years or whatever the case is, and keep
which they should be able to do, right? Like I think financially they really shouldn't be outbid, right?
No. I mean, as long as they feel that it's a good term. I mean, listen, they do use a lot of analytics, and they might see, Bo, he was hurt this year. You know, what are we getting on the other end of this contract? But again, look what they did with George Springer, and look what Springer did this year. Incredibly. Springer's got one more year on the books. Kevin Gausman's got one more year in the books. You're going to have Savage making less than $1 million next year.
That helps.
I mean, I think they're in a position where they really do need to do it. And if you'd asked me this 2 months ago, I would have thought that Bo was gone. But from his perspective too, once you've been that close and you've seen the way, like he knows the market and stuff like that. Do you want to leave that? You want to go to the Texas Rangers or whatever to be on a team that you're going to get paid maybe an extra few $1 million if that's the case, playing in the States? And some guys might want to do that. He's a Texas guy. You might want to get him closer to home, but I don't know. He seems to be, these guys embrace the city, much like the city and the country embrace them. And I hope we see a good majority of the guys back, but especially Bichette, because that is a hole in the lineup that is very, very difficult to replace.
What about Bassett, Bieber, and Scherzer, Huss? How do you approach those three guys?
I mean, listen, if they can keep Bieber. Now, I believe Bieber has a player option. for like 25 million or something like that. But when you consider that he just came off the surgery, pitched quite well, I'm sure he wants the security of more than a year.
$16 million player option, which says he's expected to decline and test free agency. So
yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Like, I think he'd be able to get, even if he just said no, I'm sure the Jays would give him more. But the bottom line is, when you come back, when you're at his age, not that he's really old, but you're coming off Tommy John and you've got some nice results and people know that you can still do it, that's the time to get a 5 or a 6 year deal, as opposed to, I'll play on my player option for the next year. So I would certainly take a good run at Bieber. Bassett, listen, we saw Bassett as a
how good was he? Hey,
reliever in the playoffs. I mean, I don't think they get better by losing him. Just the question is, what's the cost to have him, and what is that? What could you get instead?
Yeah.
But he certainly seemed like he desperately wanted to come back and be a part of this again. So maybe they can get a deal where he's not necessarily penciled into the opening day rotation, can help the team in a lot of different ways. You know, guys are going to go down throughout the year. You need pitching. He can still do it. So I think those guys, Max is just, I mean, what a character. You'd love, I get, like, is he going to play again?
Well, I mean, he said he doesn't feel like he's thrown his last ball. I mean, he's almost like a super duper effective mascot for the group. Like, you just love him because he's a wild man. But we saw he still had some juice come playoff time, man.
He started Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, and did well. Like, had the lead when they took him out. Like,
he was up for the win when he left the game.
It sounds bad because I said it yesterday. Like, I fell in love with the team so much that it was hard to be so pissed off at some of the things that happened over the last couple games. You're like, I love these guys, but my God, they had so many chances to win the World Series and they just didn't make that one play. You know, it's tough.
Oh man, it seemed to be like divine intervention. The ball getting stuck in the wall. Like,
that was crazy. Oh, well, all-time run. And we'll have a lot more Blue Jays content on the Lock Shop here moving forward for sure.
So last night, pretty dull Monday nighter. I have to admit, after everything, I wasn't too.
I said yesterday that after watching the Jays lose the way they did, my appetite for sports the last couple of days has kind of been like, meh. Barely watched the Sunday nighter. Dabbled in the Monday nighter a little bit. Obviously watched the Oilers game, but I did it for work purposes, like.
Well, I kind of brought that up because I did come back last night and clicking around and I'm looking at the scores. I'm like, ooh, wonder what Tommy's got cooking over on the EST Coast.
You sick bastard.
I see Evan Bouchard is now in the sights of the fans. I will say that was about as ugly a defensive play on the winner. Like, what was that, a minute and a half left?
Yeah, just over a minute left. He just decided to get out of the way so Suter could grab a rebound and score.
You know what? I guess you got to take the bad with the good because there's a lot of good with that guy.
It's too much bad, though, this year, man. That's the thing. Like, we're basically going back and forth from game to game. Like, good game, bad game. Good game, bad game. Like, it's ridiculous.
Dude, the crazy thing about that is, I mean, and I guess if you're paying a guy 8 figures, he better be able to play in high leverage moments. But if that's your attention to detail when you're clinging on, trying to get a game at least to overtime, that was a mess. And you got to do a lot of scoring to outscore problems like that. So it's been tough. Apparently the book has been closed on Evan Bouchard on Team Canada, at least by the fellas afterwards there. And I mean, there's so many talented defensemen. I mean, I don't know how you could possibly feel like you could throw that guy out against the best in the world on the other side.
You can't. You can't feel that way. Nobody can feel that way. Like Bouchard isn't even wired to feel that way. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way you could put that dude out with Olympic gold medal on the line. Like, you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. So, yeah, that happened last night. We'll get to the NHL slate. Monday Nighter, Huss, I got to know your thoughts. Dallas Cowboys, an absolute dud against Jacoby Brissett and the Cardinals. Like, oh, my goodness, man.
Well, I mean, listen, it was just par for the course for the weekend. The Bombers losing, the Jays losing twice, the Chiefs losing, going 0-5 against the spread after being like 12-3 in the past 3 weeks. I mean, just anything that could go wrong did. I wasn't surprised. I know I didn't have Dallas in our picks for the lock shop, but that was one of my other picks, and I just didn't put it in because it was the Monday Nighter. So I am so willing to just move past last weekend and this entire week. My big disappointment was that Bam Knight. I kind of thought that he was going to be, a guy that would be getting a lot of touches. And at the end of the game was that Mercado or whatever his name is.
That guy always pops up. Hey, he always pops up. Whenever you're like, this is the back now in Arizona, that guy's always in there. You know, you mentioned being a Bombers fan, and then what happened with the Jays. You have had some success with the Chiefs, obviously. Nobody in the country, I think, has had it worse than Marshall, my boy, for the last, because three Bombers Grey Cups. Like, he became a Bombers fan after the second one. So since between the ages of 7 and 10, he's watched the Bombers lose 3 Grey Cups, the Oilers lose 2 Stanley Cups, and now the Blue Jays lose a World Series. Like, he is 0-for-6 over a 3-year stretch.
We were talking with that with Iwanek yesterday.
Yeah.
Because I would love to, the one thing that made me feel better, like I just got kind of a smile on my face. Like, there's some things that, me and you being close and doing this every day, and you being a family guy, kind of live somewhat a lot of people live vicariously through the Gong Show that I run. It goes the other way on some more wholesome stuff with you. And I saw you guys cracking those CFL packs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? This is exactly what I needed right now. I loved watching you guys do it. I was interested in the cards and all that. And then I said, what has Dusty done to this poor kid? We went through it all because I was kind of lamenting the Bombers. I'm like, oh my God, he's this is the thing that was sports. You got to earn it.
Yes.
You don't just show up like that kid in Boston with the sign every single year, another championship. You got to earn it. So young Marsh has learned some very hard lessons about sports and the teams that we love. And when he finally gets that championship, he's going to be
the icing.
He will have earned it as much as guys that have been watching their teams for 30, 40 years.
The icing on the cake is that he himself had a hockey game that day that he also lost. And then he was supposed to have a basketball game at the same time, but he's been alternating back and forth choosing between them if they conflict. So he didn't make it to basketball, but we put him down to bed that night. And he goes, Daddy, it's been a losing day for me. He goes, I lost, and hockey 8-0. The Bombers lost. Now the Blue Jays lost. And then he's laying in bed. He goes, and my basketball team probably lost too. And I said, oh, no, maybe they won, buddy. So we put him to bed. I come out into the living room, and Tammy's like, no, his basketball team also lost. I was just like, oh, man, this is a really tough day. So, yeah, that was tough. It was, but whatever. It'll be great when they win. When somebody wins something, he'll be very fired up.
This is the time when we need our bloody hockey teams to step up.
Yes. Yeah,
and
I
said yesterday, I mean, thank God for the Winnipeg Jets. They beat Pittsburgh. They got to 9-3. They're right at the top of the league right now, hitting the road. Adam Lowry's coming back tonight. And I was just thinking a little bit about Marsh last night when I was watching Tommy Gazzola and Matty Cassian talk about losing to the St. Louis Blues, who I joyously pointed out were 31st in the NHL going into last night's game.
Ahead of only Calgary, I believe.
Yeah, they were exactly. They were right there. Well, they're ahead of Calgary now. But I'll tell you what, so am I getting this right last night that the Leafs
they were down 3-0.
3-0 after the first period, after the second period.
Yeah. Scored 3 goals in
Berube
like
do?
3 minutes or something to come back and tie it.
That is quite the performance. And you want to talk about a team that had to. I mean, we know a lot of people that are, from that area that, love their local teams. And the Blue Jays obviously are that. They became Canada's team. But the Leafs, who had just been very, very mid so far this year, had benefited the most because all the noise around the team disappeared because all anyone cared about was the Jays. If they had just shown up to the Scotiabank Arena and got put into a locker by the Penguins, now that the Jays talk has died out, what would the rest of the week be around them? So they got it done. And it was the big guys too. Austin, Willie Nylander. Pretty impressive from those guys. But I am very appreciative that we've got a good hockey team here. And I know, listen, the start is a little different for Oiler fans because we've seen them make the cup final being the worst team in the league at like the end of November. So like at this point, you guys are just probably like, okay, like whatever, let's get going. Can we just fast forward to March, please?
You would think that's probably the case, but there's still a lot of rage in the the Bouchard play last night was, I mean, that's bantam hockey stuff. Like you do that in bantam hockey, you probably don't play again in the hockey game. The problem with the Oilers right now is that they don't even look like they care. Like there is no emotion on that hockey team right now. Even when they score, it's like, have to go back to center, have a face-off now. Like there's no emotion on this team right now. And maybe it's because the big boys are, too focused on get to the playoffs and that's it. But like nobody, like they don't look like they're having fun playing hockey at all. Like it's just, and that can drag on and that could spiral in the wrong direction. And they have a tough month. Like they are on the road a ton in the month of November. And they're already on the road a lot in October. So to me, it's almost like survive November and then sort of crank it up a notch and get to where you need to be. And it's not like there's anybody necessarily running away with the division. Hell, the Oilers aren't that far out of first place and they've only won 6 of their 14 games or whatever it is so far this year. So, it's early, but there's a lot of frustration with a team that to me still looks like they're just lacing them up to go out and get some reps preseason hockey style. And at some point that'll change. I don't know if it's like getting Hyman back in the lineup at some point this month and they actually look like they're giving a damn. But like last night, Huss, they lose. We already talked about the Bouchard play, but they lose to St. Louis. Draisaitl, McDavid, and Nugent-Hopkins combined for 0 shots on goal. Like not one of those guys had a shot on goal last night. And you're just like, how's that possible? How is it possible that those 3 guys don't have a shot on goal in the hockey game? So there's been a lot of weird things like that. Goaltending has been basically what we really should expect with these 2 guys, but subpar, I would think. And then so many of them are just going through the motions right now. So they might flip a switch here at some point, but I haven't liked what I've seen from them so far. Really, like not even in 2 or 3 games have I been like, there they are. That's them. They haven't even been that much. There's like been 2 games that I'd say they played well all season.
Nobody has played more hockey than the Oilers and the Florida Panthers in the last 2 years. And I'm just going to say, I don't think it's a coincidence that the Oilers are 6-5-3 and the Panthers are 6-5-1. Now, Panthers may be a little bit more forgivable because of the injuries. They don't have Kachuk and they don't have Barkov, which is massive for them. But that Stanley Cup hangover is real. That team played over 100 games last year. Add in the 4 nations for, McDavid. And then the previous year, another 100+ games. So I'm not sure that we're really going to be getting the best out of 97 until the new year. He'll really ramp up, win us a gold medal in the Olympics, and then come back and kind of make that push. The good thing for the Oilers is that division is terrible.
Yeah. It doesn't look good right now, right?
I mean, the Kraken are number 1, and the Ducks, a young, exciting Ducks team with Joel Quenneville as the head coach. But I mean, do we think that either of those teams are going to make the playoffs?
maybe one of them does hang around. Like maybe one of them are legitimate. I would lean towards no, neither of them do, but maybe one of them can be a wild card team this year. I mean, maybe.
I mean, Edmonton's going to make it. Vegas is going to make it. I don't know if LA is going to. I certainly wouldn't bet on the Canucks. The Flames are out. Done. I mean, San Jose is going to be really fun to watch, but I think their time is a little early.
Yeah, they're scoring 4 goals per game right now, but it doesn't matter.
They give up 5. I mean, they've got 53 goals against for the season. The Jets have 30. Washington has 29. Those are the top 2 teams. Kind of interesting. Those 2 teams that were the President's the President's Trophy, still holding it down. It is pretty wild when you look at the Jets. Jets have a plus 15 goal differential already. It's best in the NHL. They're starting a massive 6-game road trip tonight, all on the West Coast, with the exception of the final game, right through the Grey Cup. So it's 9:30 game, 9 or 9:30 every game for the next 2 weeks until the Grey Cup is finished.
You're gonna have to buckle up, Huss. That's a lot of late nights for you.
Hey, that's right in my wheelhouse. I'm talking about average people.
You're just getting up around 9:30 at night.
Remus is pumped. Remus is so pumped because he has young kids. He gets them.
They'll be in bed.
7:00. His wife's usually done around 8, and then he reverts back to Michael Remus and does his thing, probably playing NBA Jam and watching the late West Coast games. But you know what, dude? I was mentioning this going into last night's games overall. The East right now, and I mean, I realize it's still relatively early into the season, but we're still talking about a dozen games for most teams. You know that first to last in the East is separated by 5 points?
Like from first to last playoff spot or first to last in the conference?
Every team.
Really?
And there's 3 teams. Montreal, Detroit, Jersey, and Pittsburgh all have 18 points.
Yeah.
But from 5th in the conference to dead last in the conference, 2 points differential. The last place teams have 13. The 5th place team, which is the Leafs after their win last night, have 15.
Could you imagine if something like that continued into like March and the entire conference was separated by 5-6 points?
6 teams have 14 points. 5 teams have 13. Like there is literally 0 separation between the entire East. The West is a little different, because you've got some of the bad teams. You've got the teams that are, 8 for for Calgary, 11 for San Jose. But still, the Pacific Division actually is sort of similar to that, where you've got 2 points from Vancouver in 6th to Seattle in 1st. And obviously the Central is different. I mean, you've got, some Colorado, Winnipeg, Utah, and then, St. Louis with the win still. Yeah, because they had 8 points tied to Calgary.
Yeah, they're up to 10 now.
Game before that win.
All right, let's take a look at this slate tonight in the National Hockey League. I've got some starting goalies for you. I'll put together a little lock shop partner parlay this afternoon. Jeremy Swayman will start for the Boston Bruins. They are on the island to take on New York. Sorokin is confirmed to start for the Islanders. Alex Lyon will go for the Buffalo Sabres. Vamelka for the Mammoths. Shesterkin will start for the Rangers. Kochikov for the Hurricanes. The Habs are at home hosting the Philadelphia Flyers. Montembeault will start for the Habs. Vladar is confirmed to start for Philadelphia. Gustafsson will go for the Wild. They're at home against the Nashville Predators. Justus Anunen unconfirmed at this point. Casey DeSmith with Ottinger not available for the game tonight. DeSmith will start for the Stars. Stuart Skinner will start for the Oilers. That puck drop is 6 o'clock our time, which means the GCL Diesel pregame show will get going at 5 o'clock. So just a 2-hour Reed Wilkins show this afternoon from 3 until 5. Scott Wedgwood will start for the Colorado Avalanche. They're at home against Tampa. Nothing confirmed on Tampa's side. Vasilevsky listed as unconfirmed. Detroit and Vegas, Talbot and Schmid right now unconfirmed. Florida takes on the Ducks in Anaheim. Dostal and Bobrovsky unconfirmed, and then Kemper and Hellebuck in that Winnipeg Los Angeles game a little bit later on tonight. Huss, what's your favorite play, buddy? What jumps off the board for you here?
Wow. I've sort of been locked in on this Jets game, and interesting, the Jets is a underdog at plus money. To be honest, coming in, knowing that the Oilers were playing back to back, I thought this was a brutal spot for them going into Dallas. Now, the fact that Jake Ottinger is not in the net.
Yeah, no Rupe Hintz, no Matt Duchene.
Yeah, and they handle historically, they've actually been the kryptonite for Jake Ottinger, even when he's playing really well. I still am really impressed with what Utah is doing. I have a soft spot for Buffalo, but Utah at minus 135 is something I think I could get behind. The Islanders had that miracle win on the weekend. I think they've got a bit of mojo right now. I don't know whether they're a little overvalued right now at that number.
Yeah, I'm seeing minus 169 on the Islanders, which is, that's pretty chalky for the Islanders.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Certainly the Wild are a desperate team right now. They're in a great spot. That number's huge. You may even have to think of puck line or something like that if you like the Wild. But I like Colorado. I think they've been one of the best teams in the league all year right now, and Tampa just seems to be.
And what is the latest with Tampa? Are they still struggling?
Well, as I say, they're just tied with the rest of the conference.
Yeah.
They're right there where the Oilers are and everyone. They're 6-4-2. Now they won 5 in a row. They had a really terrible start.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering, because I know they had a terrible start. I was wondering if they'd sort of figured it out. Yeah, they won 5 in a row. They beat Anaheim, Vegas, Nashville, Dallas, and Utah.
Yeah, so they've beaten some good teams in there.
I wonder what happened. I wonder what the switch was there. Did somebody get healthy or something? Or
I think they just had a really weird start. They were like 1-4. They lost a bunch of games in OT. But to me, the Avs back at home, they had played 4 of their last 5 away from home. They were in Boston and Jersey, came back and smashed Jersey 8-4, then went and beat the Golden Knights, followed that up with a loss to the Sharks. So I do like the Avs tonight. What do you think about this Panthers Ducks game?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw that one. I was going to say when I was going through the starting goalies, I was going to say, well, that's an intriguing game. The Ducks have just been, they've been surprising everybody. And they're a plus 139 play at home here tonight against Florida. Just a sec. I was looking at one other game. Let me bring up this one. Dive into some of the recent streaks here. Now, Florida is only 1-4 on the road so far this year. They're coming in off a shootout win over Dallas. I'll be playing on 2 days full rest, so they haven't played in 3 days. They lost to Anaheim in Florida last week. And the Ducks have won 5 of their last 6, including victories over, the Ducks beat Detroit 5-2 in New Jersey 4-1. Those are 2 pretty good teams. Yeah. And they beat them they beat them both by 3 goals. And you're looking at a plus 139 tonight on them at home here.
Dostal's on fire right now. He was the number 1 star of the week. I'll be honest. I could get behind a little home dog in the Anaheim.
I don't think we're crazy to do it. I think we're getting really good value on them there.
Let me just see what.
I also like the Habs. I think I said Dobish was starting. The guy's been automatic. He's been outstanding so far this year.
Oh, you said Montembeault.
Oh, Montembeault. I did say Montembeault starting. I did. You're right. Okay, well then probably changes my mind a little bit. I'm not as confident. I'd probably still be okay with it because they've been doing very well lately, but not as confident.
Like, Evan Rodriguez is playing number one center right now for the Panthers. You've got Rodriguez, Verhaeghe, and Reinhart, Lundell, Marchand, and Luosterainen, Bennett with Boqvist and Samoskevich, and then like Noah Gregor, Cole Schwindt, and AJ Greer for the fourth line. Like, this is not the Panthers that we're used to seeing in
Yeah, to me, man, this line is like has nothing to do with this season. You know, like with what we've seen so far in the season. So if we go if we got the Ducks at plus 139, I'm with you on Utah. They were on my notes as one of my favorite plays tonight as well. That's minus 133. If you really liked Minnesota, we're already at plus 318. You throw the Wild in just on the money line, it takes it over 5-1 before a boost. So that would be an option. What else did you say you liked?
I mean, Colorado.
Colorado's at minus 152. You're not worried about Tampa being red hot here right now, 5 in a row?
I mean, listen, that's probably why we're not getting a minus 200 number or something on Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still, although here's what, and listen, I'll say the same thing about Edmonton, who's got 3 losses in extra time, or maybe one's in a shootout.
They did lose one in a shootout, yeah.
How are the Avalanche, how have they lost 4 games in overtime?
When you're throwing out Natchez, Makar, and McKinnon?
Yeah.
Maybe they don't care about their defensive responsibilities, like when the Oilers have McDavid, Draisaitl, and Bouchard during overtime.
It makes so I guess they've lost 2 shootouts and 3 in overtime. But I mean, they're 7-1-5. Like, you don't beat them in regulation, but it seems like if you get to extra time, you're going to get 2 points.
7-1-5 sounds like one of those combinations I used to pick when I was filling out Sports Select tickets back in BC when I was like 19 years old, and you could pick like 7 wins and you got 5 ties, and then you had the one, like, you know, and that's just what I thought about. The good old days. The good old days.
Yeah,
I go to 7-Eleven to place my bets.
Pools. I think we still have those here.
Yeah, they might still be doing pool. I haven't done a pools ticket in a long time. I mean, it must be still there.
And I think maybe for hockey, there's just some people that still haven't gotten with the times and gone online.
Colorado, Utah, Anaheim, plus 594 before a boost. It'll be over 6-1.
Ooh. I'm here for that.
Yeah, let's get into that. Hey, what do you make? I know you guys put together a little CFL parlay yesterday, Huss, but I see the line in that Montreal Hamilton game is now Montreal -3. I don't know if it was there yesterday and you moved it to 2.5, but I mean, I've been a big pro Montreal guy for like a month and a half here since they got healthy. Watched them last week. They look good. Obviously, you saw them last week. But I do feel like at home for Hamilton is a bit of disrespect on the Ticats here.
I think this is more about the Ticat defense. I mean, I think both teams, we know that can move the football. Montreal's defense has just been better when healthy all season long. But I'm sort of with you. Like, I was putting something together. We've got a new edition of CFL 110 coming up right after WST today on the channel. And I think when putting together, a parlay for the weekend, I think I'm just going to go with the money lines.
Yeah.
I think I'm not going to worry about the spreads. Like, I think Montreal and Saskatchewan are the 2 best teams. I think they find a way, but these games could be close. The pick that I like the most, Dusty, is the over in the East Final.
That 52.5.
Yeah. I like the over in that game. I mean, I think Montreal is going to put up 30 plus, but I think Bo Levi and that Hamilton offense is going to be able to cook too. So
yeah. I hope so. I'd love to call that.
Yeah. And I mean, you're doing that game, right?
Yeah, I'm doing that game too.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you had a lot to deal with on Saturday. Like,
buddy, what a game. There's probably like 10 plays in that game where I could crank it up a notch, which was awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was a lot of fun.
It was just Dusty maxed out for like
when the Bombers, like we get to halftime, it's 19 or whatever it was, or whatever.
25-6.
I said to 40, I was just like, my God, man. I said, Bombers got to find a way to at least make this a game for the broadcast in the second half. And I think that's why I was kind of a little bit even more fired up when they put together 3 touchdowns. I was like, we got a game. Like, let's go. This is going to be a thriller the rest of the way. Now, I did have some people from Winnipeg tweeting me and be like, Dustin, that first half, you only ever sounded excited for Alouettes plays. And I wanted to reply and be like, first of all, I'm like an adopted son of Winnipeg, so give me a second here. Yeah. Second of all, there wasn't anything to get excited about in the first half for the Bombers. So what do you want me to...
What exactly excited you?
What a field goal by Castillo. This is one of the best kicks I've ever seen in my life. Like, you got to call it how it is. I mean, I lost my mind on the Ontario Wilson touchdown. Like, it was just an awesome second half of that game. And Davis Alexander, I mean, the guy carries a lot of swag. He's never lost. I'm interested to see how he bounced back when that eventually happens. But that guy's got a brass set of balls on him to be scoring touchdowns and running past the sideline of the Bombers, just like giving it to him. I was just like, man, Davis Alexander gives no Fs about what's going on here right now.
No, you know what he reminds me of? If Cam Scadaboo was a CFL quarterback.
Yeah, that's, you're not wrong.
Alexander. Like that guy just gives, like when he was injured, I know I brought this up on the show later on, but the first time I saw him on the sideline and he was injured, I thought that he was like a fullback.
Yeah.
Or maybe like a linebacker that, wasn't. I'm like, wait a second. That's Davis Alexander. He is jacked. Listen, he's, as he said earlier, he feels like he was born for this league.
Like he comes in. We were doing our sit downs the day before. That's why I couldn't join Lock Shop, because we were on the middle of these sit down interviews. And like everybody, most guys come in, they're wearing like a hoodie of the team or like a nice shirt or something. Davis Alexander rolls in that damn loose wife beater, white tank top thing that looks like there could have been a stain on it. He didn't care. He sits down in like this loose tank top. And it's like this guy does no, like he just really nice guy too. Like I chatted with him for a bit. Good guy. But man, even in warmups, like it was kind of chilly out before, like they go, how they come out and warm up for a bit, like an hour and a half before the game. And then he's out there in warmups before. And like some guys are out there with like the toques on and he's in the white tank top, just with the guns out, sun's out, guns out, just throwing balls like on the run, 60 yards. Like I was just like, this guy, it's just jacked.
I'm just imagining, if the Alouettes win, the Davis Alexander victory trip down to Cabo or something like that. He'll basically live in. He'll bring only the white tank top.
I swear to God, that's it. If you were to go to that guy's drawers and open them up, it's just white tank tops. That's it. It's like a military thing, but just white tank tops. It's it's quite the scene. What's coming up in WST, buddy?
What is coming up on WST? We're going to get ready for this game tonight. Jets and Kings, Dennis Bernstein. Unfortunately, Dodger fan Dennis Bernstein. He was probably at a couple of those games. I'm sure we'll come on. We'll try and not talk about the Blue Jays in the World Series. But we'll get into the game tonight. Ken's out in LA. He's going to jump on as well. And actually, this is a great story. I think he'll be on at about 2:30 our time, 1:30 Edmonton time. Good buddy of ours, Benji Rothman, who's like one of the top Winnipeg comedians, was doing a show in Kenora on Thursday night. And then decided that, he should go to Toronto. So he drove to Toronto, watched game 6 in Sudbury. And we're going to find out, so if they won game 6, was he just turning back home or what? We'll never know. They lose game 6. He drives to Toronto for game 7. Sells a bunch of Pokemon cards on Facebook Marketplace during the day, buys a ticket to game 7 and went there and was now, when we talked to him earlier, he was in Madison, Wisconsin. So this journey that started with a comedy show in Kenora is coming back to Winnipeg. So
he does sound like a funny guy.
And we got a bit Westy. Troy Westwood's going to the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame too, so we're going to check with the Hall about the event this week. So, fun show. What's your sked? Are you
this is my only Lock Shop of the week, buddy. Tomorrow I'm completely off. Got some family stuff I have to do, and then I'm flying to Toronto Thursday afternoon, and then Actually, I'll take a look. I might be able to hop on for NFL picks because we have to do those sit-down interviews again. What time are those at? 11 a.m. and then noon Eastern. Actually, so yeah, I should be able to hop on for some NFL picks on Friday. So that'll be good.
Maybe we can chat a couple minutes about the games on the weekend. It should be good. But back in the saddle. We move on from the nightmare weekend that was in literally every single category. And we try and crank up the positive vibes for Friday's show. Travel safely. Have fun with the fam. Great talking to you. And we'll see you soon.
Yeah, talk soon, buddy. There you go. That is Huss from Winnipeg Sports Talk. WST coming up at the top of the clock here. We've got two guys in goalie locked and loaded. Gager must be here cooking something, eh? The whole office smells like something right now. I don't know if it's good or what, but I'm smelling something different in the office. I sent our Lock Shop partner parlay over. Should be up on the EST specials page shortly. We're on the Mammoth. We're on the Ducks. We're on the Avs tonight. Should be probably slightly over 6-1 when it's all said and done. You'll be able to find the grandest of parlays from the DGen Den on the EST specials page at Play Alberta as well. Play Alberta, the title sponsor of all of Edmonton Sports Talk. Use our codes for the month of November. EST50, deposit 50, get a $50 free bet. EST Sports, deposit 50, get a $50 free bet. More on the Edmonton Oilers and their lack of emotion coming up on two guys and a goalie. That's going to do it for the Lock Shop today. Thank you very much for joining us. Best of luck if you're going to ride with us tonight. Remember to use your game sense. We'll talk to you tomorrow.